Arsenal through to the quarterfinals. Chelsea join them after a dramatic penalty shootout. A very entertaining night of Carabao Cup football. We're here to review it with you this evening. Take your calls, get your views, get your opinions. But two very good games. Some heavy rotation from both Chelsea and Arsenal. Kind of made the games a little more competitive than what we would probably normally see at this point. Southampton really took it to Chelsea and took them to the wire, forcing some really good saves towards the end and had some good opportunity to take it. Arsenal maybe a little poor in the first half compared to Leeds, but came out in the second, caught Leeds on the counter-attack well, got their 2 goals, which were well-deserved, and see themselves through to that quarter-final now, just 3 wins away. Actually, not too sure if they've added the 2 legs back in this season, but 3 wins away from the final, 4 wins away from winning the silverware, and a very good competition to be in indeed. I want your thoughts. I want your feelings. Make sure that like button is being smashed for us, please. This evening isn't even the afternoon. Make sure you're hitting that like button for us. Man Lucky Gal to come on soon, amongst a few others as well. We want to hear from you. It's a bit of a double review tonight of both games. I don't think there's any real shocks. I don't think anyone can say Chelsea or Arsenal are lucky in any which way. Not comfortable victory for Chelsea because it went to penalties, but when you've got Kepa in goal, legit, one of the best penalty goalkeepers I've ever seen in my life. I think he holds the club record already for most penalty saves from shootouts. And he saved another one tonight, so he extends his record there as well. And look, I kind of hope that City and Liverpool go through tomorrow night because we're getting close to having some really good quarterfinals, maybe even some mammoth semi-finals to look forward to as well. And I kind of want somebody good in it to try and knock City out. I don't want City winning 5 on the bounce. Nobody should be wanting City to be winning that 5 on the bounce there. Sam here says Kepa, GOAT. I can understand why you would think that. Most people think that as well. But there we go. Chelsea were lucky, but they'll take it. And look, they did ride their luck at times, but that's football. That is football for you. No, they didn't play their strongest team tonight. They're the likes of Chalobah and Shah and whoever else, Reece James at the back. And Southampton still couldn't exploit that. They still couldn't exploit it. So it's fair play in relation to that. I thought it was a fairly even game, and you kind of come to expect it. They had Hudson-Odoi playing at wing back, and he's not a wing back. They brought their big boys on. They couldn't really get into the game. It was a really good cup tie. Arsenal, on the other hand, I thought in the second half especially were excellent. I thought they were really good, very comfortable against Leeds. After maybe getting caught a few times on the counter themselves, they changed their approach in the second half. They were a little bit more reserved. In the opening 20 minutes of the second half, Leeds United had 63% of the ball compared to 50% in the whole of the first half. But it was 5 shots in that time period to Arsenal and none to Leeds. Arsenal became more compact. They broke on the counter and they took Leeds United apart. Very good tactical play there by Mikel Arteta. No doubt about it whatsoever. We have a super chat here from my guy, Ro, who says, Reece James, what a player. He is going to be the next Chelsea legend, is what Ro has got to say today. Artificial Intelligence says, well done, Arsenal. Absolutely. Arsenal were good again. Absolutely, Callum. They were very good today indeed, Arsenal Football Club. That can't be, I don't think that can be denounced. I don't think that can be lied about. No one can be twisting that. Very, very good tonight indeed. I want your thoughts. I want your feelings. Keep your comments coming in. Member and super chats get priority. I want to say about super chats, by the way. I've had a bit of stick on. I've actually been threatened this evening on social media. A lot of hooligans from Manchester want to beat me up because I ranted that we shouldn't be giving any more money to the Glazers. Very weird. And also attacking that we take super chats. I just want to say super chats are a way for you to donate money to the Football Terrace, to keep it going, to keep it alive. And I'm very honored and privileged that so many of you choose to do that on a regular basis. So Ro and everybody else, a massive thank you to all of the detractors of the Football Terrace. I am in Manchester in about 6 weeks' time. I'm visiting my old kickboxing and MMA club. You're more than welcome to come meet me there and have a conversation. That's all I'm going to say. Well, it's in Stockport. I'll give you the address if you want it. Come meet me there and we can have that little chat you're after. Not a problem. We played the same way that we did against Aston Villa with rotated players. Shows that we have a clear system and style, according to Arsenal fan here. I don't want to try and pronounce the name right. I can't pronounce that name. I'm just going to call you I don't know how to pronounce that. KHD, I'm going to call you, bro. But I hear what you're saying. Their clear style of play. Callum Cafu is what Herb's got to say here. Chris George says, I pray Burnley beat the scum tomorrow is what Chris is asking for. Look, my team's out of this competition now, so I don't really care per se who goes through. But I would love tomorrow night to see Man City, Tottenham, Liverpool all through. I'd love to see Brentford go through. And I'd love to see Leicester go through. In fact, I'd like City to go out, maybe West Ham to go through. Imagine that as just a quarterfinal. Brentford, Liverpool, Tottenham, Leicester, Arsenal, Chelsea. I'm missing 2 teams off there. That's it. That'd be really good. Can't be 6 teams though. That's 8. No, it was 1 me. I am missing 1. Who would have missed off? Who else went through? Somebody else went through tonight, didn't they? It's going to be Sunderland, I think. So Sunderland. So yeah, really good quarterfinal that will be. Really, I had 7 fingers. And I was like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing here. The Chelsea bus will crash soon, is what Blue Viper's got to say. Nice to see some upset. Wanted to lose today. This cup was because Chelsea's problem in December because of the World Cup. Okay, what's going on with... Oh, the World Club Championships. I hear you. Good to see Sal is looking more comfortable in the league. Shots from outside were good and 2 really good saves from the Southampton keeper. Yeah, I thought Sal Niguez looked a lot more comfortable today. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of Sal Niguez. I think it's taken him a little bit of time to settle. I still think he could come good in a Chelsea shirt. I really do. I really, really do. Daniel here says, here comes the salty dogs crying, is what Daniel's got to say here. I don't like Southampton at all, is what Chris George has got to say. Well, you're entitled to have that opinion. I'm going to get Igal on now to have his say with us this evening. I want to know what he's thinking and feeling. Of course, his team picked up not 3 points tonight. They put themselves through to the quarterfinals of another competition, another chance for Mikel Arteta to win his 2nd piece of silverware at Arsenal Football Club. And that will certainly set the cat amongst the pigeons, especially with the Arteta outers like Igal. So it'd be really interesting to see if he can pull that off. Smash that like and share button and see what my man's got to say.
Terry, I see what you're doing there. Listen, I thought... Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go on, mate. Go on.
Okay. So, yeah, I did say that, and I still stand by that. But what I'm going to say is today's performance in the first half was there was very poor individual performances from the likes of Nicolas Pepe and Kolasinac and some other players. But what happened in the second half was we got Eddie Nketiah, who scored a goal. He almost missed it by accident. And you also have Callum Chambers scoring a goal off his first touch. Arteta almost made a mistake. If Ben White's injured and is serious, that could have been a big selection mistake, because we could have gone with Chambers playing as a center back or somebody else playing as a center back, and it would have saved us the worry of having an injured player. But now Ben White might actually be injured. I'm not sure how serious it is, but that could I hope it's just a precaution that he subbed him off and he's not injured, because I remember a couple of minutes before that he went off. And overall, I'm concerned looking forward if that midfield that we played today of El Neni and Ainsley Maitland-Niles is going to be our midfield, if any of our Partey and Xhaka are ever out. Because in a top Premier League game, I don't think that midfield would be able to handle it against everybody else. But the positives are, you know what? Pepe got an assist. He had a terrible game, but he got an assist. So that's for a stat merchant. Can hold on to that. Eddie Nketiah got a goal. He loves a goal in the League Cup, and we keep our winning form going. We're now 7 games unbeaten in all competitions. And you know what? I'll take that shamelessly. And I'm just happy to see our team win in uncomfortable moments and still come out the victors and keep a clean sheet. Because in the past, we would concede a goal or mess up and cause ourselves errors. And lately, we've been lucky, and knock on wood, that we don't cause ourselves errors going forward, and we can kick on from this game going into Leicester, completely different change side, but the same mentality. And every player needs to be ready for their opportunity. Because Callum Chambers came on, he was ready. Eddie Nketiah came on, he scored the goal. I don't know if they're going to get called on the weekend, but all our players should be ready and professional.
Yeah, and I'm sure they will. I mean, it was really interesting for me listening today. I don't really watch the build-up to too many games, just because I don't often have the time to really do it. What I found very, very interesting this evening was again the level of the level of sort of praise from the likes of from Alan Smith talking about the clear improvements at Arsenal, the clear kind of light at the end of the tunnel in terms of the good times coming back. And it was quite interesting to, like, I haven't listened to a lot. I don't watch a lot of build up to football. I'm kind of getting ready for my own work, my own job and stuff like that. And there seems to be a lot of that surrounding Arsenal at this moment in time.
Listen, a lot of the positive that are coming out of the club is because we've been winning games and we've been getting 2 draws. If any of those were losses or we lose against Leicester, believe me, the meltdown will come right back, Terry.
I hear you on that. And in terms of yourself, you said a couple of games ago, you are Arteta out. What can be done for you to change your mind on that?
The reason why I said that is because I don't believe that he'll be able to get us to major honors, get us to major trophies, and get this team into a position at the end of the season where we're higher up the table. If he gets us into the top 4, then at that point you have to change your mind and say, you know what, this guy's done an amazing job. But if he can't get us into the top 4 or get us at least competing at the end of the season in the top 4, then I don't think anyone who should be saying, you know what, they back him to do that.
I hear you on that, bro. Listen, thanks for calling in, mate. I know you're working this evening. Top, man. Really appreciate it, bro. We'll speak to you again soon. Thank you very much indeed. Viewers, make sure that like button's being hit. Let's get this past at least that 500 mark while we're live on the air. My wonderful, wonderful viewers. Alpha here says, solid Arsenal performance versus a woeful Leeds who were blunt up front and didn't capitalise on Arsenal's midfield errors. Think Arsenal will lose versus Leicester is what Alpha has got to say here. Rowe here says, these Arsenal fans are so deluded, talking about clean sheets and unbeaten 7 games when they are so low in the table, is what Rowe's got to say. Next to the show, CFC Gem is with us. We've got I keep calling him Showstar. Is it Shockstar or Showstar? I don't know why I keep saying it's Shock Star. He's saying, yeah, I called him Showstar, and I must have been saying it wrong all this time. I feel like a bum. I feel like a bum now. Shockstar is going to be on the correct me if I say it wrong. Never stand on ceremony. We've got Ryan, who's an Arsenal fan, to come very soon as well. CFC Gem is on with us next, but we need to get the stream up on the likes. It looks like we've been targeted by them trolls again this evening. So make sure you're smashing that like button, supporting this platform that gives you a chance to speak. We're going to share the link now as well for anyone who wants to call in and have their say this evening. I'm going to put the call in now function out there for you. That's been done. That is out there. I'm going to pin that to the live comment section as well. And then I'm going to get my guy, Jem. I've not spoken to Jem in a while. Since he got married, no one sees him. Who knew that was going to happen? Who knew? Who knew that was going to happen? Let's do this. Let's have a little chit chat. Let's go. Yes, Jem. How you doing, bruv?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm well. What do you make of Chelsea's performance and victory tonight, mate?
If you want my honest opinion, we was poo. Literally, we were so bad tonight, Terry. It was ridiculous. Like, we made a lot of changes, don't get me wrong, and a lot of people were question marking the way we set up the team and the players that were playing today. And, you know, the way Tuchel has carried himself up to now, who are we to really question his substitutions? We were left a little bit late in terms of being brought to the attention of people that are injured. We were missing Christensen, who had a pain in his tooth, apparently, so he couldn't play. We were missing a couple other individuals as well that probably would have helped strengthen the team and maybe had to make Tuchel have to make different decisions in terms of who played tonight. But Ross Barkley got his opportunity. Hakim Ziyech got his opportunity. There was a number of players that hadn't played many minutes for Chelsea this season that had the opportunity to step up and really show themselves today and show why they're in the team. And I don't think they did that. You know, Hakim Ziyech, again, I just think he's a waste. Honestly, I don't get what he brings to the team. He's just not the same player that we saw at Ajax. He misses, you know, the creativity element is not good. He doesn't track. He doesn't make runs. He doesn't support. Ross Barkley, I've always said this about Ross Barkley, he's a deceiver of football. You know, he has one really good game and everyone thinks he should start. Again, he was very poor in the game. And, you know, we got overrun in the second half. Southampton were very good and they deserved, in my opinion, more than what they got. And we counted on Kepa to make that big save on the penalty. and Reece James obviously put it in the back of the net to put us through. But it was nowhere near a great performance. But at the same time, we continue doing okay in all competitions. So it is what it is. We move.
Yeah, I think that's what's key for me looking from the outside in. It may not have been vintage. It may not have been beautiful. It may not have been brilliant, but you're through to that next round. And I actually felt like Arsenal took a bigger risk tonight rotating than Chelsea, because you guys have got Champions League and a title you're fighting for. I know they're trying to get back into Europe, but I sort of felt like the league, say they come 6th or 5th this year, it's a very good achievement for Arsenal in terms of the league, but you throw in a League Cup or an FA Cup victory into that, and actually it's a really good season. It's a really good season because you've got silverware, and I thought they took a little bit of a risk and they did well. Interestingly, Chelsea looked a little less comfortable with their changes than Arsenal did tonight. I was trying to watch both games at the same time, but you've just got this knack under Thomas Tuchel of, irrespective for how you're playing, you win. You very rarely lose. It must be an amazing feeling to have as a Chelsea fan, that you just always feel like you're going to win.
And this is why I say don't question Thomas Tuchel, even though we were very limited in terms of the players that play today. They had the opportunity to put in a performance and show why they deserve to be a part of this team. And whatever he's doing, before he even sends them out, the thing that I love about Thomas Tuchel is that I feel like they all know what is required from him. I don't think he allows one player to go on that pitch without them actually knowing what they need to do within the game. Actually executing it's a different story, but that they all know what needs to be done going onto the pitch. And to be honest, I just thought he done what he could have done with limited players in many ways. And we're through to the next round. There's not much more to really say about this game, other than there was some poor games from certain individuals, which we could probably analyse. But overall, I thought the whole team didn't play that well, So it is what it is, man. We just move.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that, mate. Listen, really appreciate you coming on and having your say. Top man, Jem. Nice to chat to you, mate. Speak to you soon. Thank you very much, bro. Cheers. Thank you. CFC Florida here says, Jem, Havertz is becoming a headache. Well, he likes scoring with his head. That's definitely true. It is. Next on the show, we've got another super chat first. It says, please talk about Mount's 4th penalty miss. I didn't realize it was Super Cup versus Liverpool, last Premier League game. And today, Chelsea fans love to protect him, is what Rose got to say. Slen says, drop me the link. Bro, it's in the live chat, my brother. It's in the live chat pinned. If you can't see it, I'll drop it to you on a DM, bro, and I'll get you on to have your say, my guy. Thank you very much indeed. We've hit the 300 like mark. The 300 like mark's been hit, but we should be going past 500 easy with this amount of viewers this evening on the terrace. Next up, I'm going to go to Shockstar. Shockstar is on with me now. What are you saying, bro?
Finally got it, bro. My guy, welcome to the Shockstar camp in that, man. Now, big up to you, man. Thanks for having me on every time, man. Yeah, man, good game. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it was an outstanding performance, because it weren't. I did see a couple things that did alarm me a little bit. However, a victory is just a victory for me, man. Right now, I don't think Arsenal are in a position to be complaining about much. We'll just take every victory as it comes, man. I was impressed by a couple of them out there. I see a lot of people on the timeline talking about Eddie and Nketiah, like how he needs to come off and and red. Look, listen, man. Me personally, I think that guy's actually improved. I think he's adding more to his game. His hold-up play looks a little bit better. I see him do stuff in the middle of the park. I see him contributing all around the pitch, on the wings and stuff like that. So that was good. His goal, oh my God, that goal. When he flipped, I don't know. Terry, have you seen the goal that he scored?
Yeah. When he hit it, it's one of them ones, right? It was like, I'm a Man United fan, and he kicked the ball. And all I could think was, please go in, please go in, because I don't think he could have. And do you know what really I loved about it as well was how he ran to the crowd and was like, yeah, it's me. I was like, bro, how you, that was like, like sometimes, tennis players are the best. When a tennis player hits a shot and it will hit the net and then it will drop down, they get the point, but they just apologize for it. He should have apologized for that goal. But
said, oh, my bad. It was close.
Mate, if he'd have missed that, like, oh, wow.
He was so close to shit in the bed. He was so close in it, like, but it went in it, so you don't complain about it.
You've got a baby, right? You ever had that moment where just for a second it slips a little bit in the hand, and you grab him closer, like no one saw. No, I didn't nearly drop you. That didn't nearly happen.
No, I meant to do that. It was just playing games.
I know. I meant to be holding you by your ankle. That's what I was meant to be doing. But yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
so
hear
like,
you.
yeah, he done that, and then come off his shin and slowly rolled in, bro. My heart was in my ass at that point. I was like, what? Please don't tell me you're gonna miss that. But yeah, he went in and stuff like that. He done everything else well. He done the touch over the keeper, even to bring it down from the air, and then it's just literally the last touch.
Yeah, man.
Martinelli, I think Martinelli, it looks like to me he's trying too hard. He looks like he wants to be included in every game, so he's trying to impress. I can't really blame him for that. He's a young kid. He's just out there. He's just trying to do his best and stuff like that. He never really had the best game. Pepe. I'm tapped out on him.
Did you see when he tripped himself up?
Bro, I'm done.
You see that moment when he tripped himself up? You know, I've said on this show 100 times, I have a problem with players who tackle themselves too much. And he tackles himself a lot. Like, and that's why, you know what it is for people like that? That's like, just pass the ball and move. Don't try the skill because you only pull it off 50% of the time. It's, bro, pass the ball and move. Like, I
was on a space last night, and someone goes, I've had enough of Pepe. He dribbles like a baby zebra. And you know what? I swear to God, today, that proved it. Like, it literally, like, the Brer stumbled over his own feet. Like, I used to do that when I was like 4 years old because I'm like mad tall, innit? Like, I used to tumble over my own legs and that. Like, I've learned how to figure it out. How is this guy 26 and he still doesn't know how to use his own legs? I don't get it. I just don't understand. And he's not even that big. Stop it, bruv. Like,
yeah, I hear you, man. But look, you're through to the quarterfinals now. I mean, it looks like it's set to be quite a tough quarterfinal because you would anticipate the bigger teams are going to go through tomorrow. You're likely to have Liverpool, City, Leicester in those quarterfinals and Chelsea as well. So they're going to be, next round, would you like to see as much rotation or do you get to a point now where you think, come on, let's go for this?
It's squeaky bum time now, innit? Like, these are when you're going to start having the real people. And to be honest, let's be honest, we ain't playing 2 games a week usually anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if these guys actually want to actually persist and actually start playing Champions League or European football and stuff like that, then you have to get used to playing 2 games a week anyway. Right, so I would suggest. I mean, it was very good that we have actually left out Saka tonight. I think he did need the rest. A lot of people were saying that on Spaces yesterday. Me personally, I'm of the ilk of that. If you're good enough, you play. You just play in it, like, and I look at the best players in the world that are young and they just play every single game, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So, I think from this point onwards now we need to start resting players. Although I did see Ainsley Maitland-Niles in the midfield, I was very impressed with him today as well. I think he had a good game as well.
I agree. I do think you look very, very good indeed, mate. I do. But bro, really appreciate you coming on, having your say. Top man. Always, cheers, Shockstar, everybody. Shockstar. Cheers, mate. I don't know why I've been calling him Showstar all this time. It's terrible. Theo here says Kepa conceding just so he can remind us how good he is at penalties. Us Chelsea fans are back in love with him. I think Chelsea fans are just back in love with their football club, irrespective. Next on the show, Ryan joins me now. Ryan's an Arsenal fan. What are you saying, mate?
Well, I'm happy. I wasn't happy with the change. I'm happy with the food, but I wasn't happy with the amount of changes we made today. It's too many for my liking. And like you said previously, we're not in Europe, so why make so many changes? I know we got less at the weekend, but I would have liked a better balance. We started off well, first 15, 20 minutes, and we sort of dipped. And every time Leeds attacked for like the rest of that half, they looked threatening.
Yeah, I mean, I saw what I call a typical Arsenal pattern. First 20 minutes, you were aggressive, and then you dropped off a little bit, and they came into the game. The second half, you went with a different approach. You were defensive, but you had an attacking mindset to it. So what I mean by that is you were setting traps. You were absorbing Leeds and countering them. But again, after that first 20 minutes, the game became a little bit more even in terms of distribution of chances again. That typically seems to be the one thing I'd say about Arsenal's kind of system and setup is at the moment, you sort of dominate the first 20 minutes of both halves. Outside of that, it becomes a very 50-50 game. As long as you're scoring in those moments, I think you've got a chance in these games. So it'll be interesting to see how I was a bit like you. I didn't quite challenge it. I just put out a tweet asking if people were happy with a rotation. Every Arsenal fan responded with yes. And look, vindication because you win. 2 of the play. Well, Chambers coming from the bench, but obviously Nketiah gets that goal, which he deserved as well. But I still thought he played well. In terms of moving forward now, do you want to see the strongest lineup played in the next round so that you've got the best chance possible of winning?
Yeah, 100%. Because again, it's a cup we haven't won since '94. we've got to the final a few times as well. So I actually, as an adult, want to see my team win this cup. I've seen us win the leagues and all that. And people, obviously, it's not the major cup out of all the available, but we're not in Europe. We've only got 2 cups to go for. We're not going for the league.
Yeah.
So why not go for both?
Well,
And go full strength, because as you said, we've got Chelsea that are through tonight, and possibly City and Leicester and all that going through tomorrow. So it's going to be a tough draw if we get tomorrow in the draw tomorrow night. So yeah, go full strength. But I think it's going to come down to as well, because the draws the ties are next round, next month. It's going to be more how we're doing in the league, because obviously we've got to play Liverpool, yourselves, Newcastle, and Everton away. So it's got to be if we're performing well in the league, he may make a few changes. I don't want him to do what he did tonight though, and basically disrespect it and go, well, I'm doing well in the league, so screw it. Because he did that in the FA Cup last year when we were defending it and we got knocked out.
I think what could be frustrating, especially if you get a more favourable draw.
Yeah.
And you play a weakened team and you go out and then you think, oh my God. And, who knows what happens? Maybe Leicester get to the quarters and they knock out City, and maybe Tottenham knock out Chelsea, and you think, oh, we've got a real chance now. But we went out. I've seen Man United do that before, where you're like, how comes we've gone out so early? Look how it's opened up. But listen, mate, Ryan, great call. Top man for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate it, bro. Thank you. Next on the show, a man like Slens is here with me. Slens is a Chelsea fan. What are you saying, bro?
Yes, bro. Hope you can hear me well.
Yeah, perfect.
How you doing, Terry? Good?
Yeah, I'm good. How about yourself?
All good, man. All good. Just wanted to talk about a couple of plays actually quickly today. Just first of all, I want to say actually it was quite a poor performance. It seems like Tuchel I don't know, he's got some juice, some black magic going on, because whatever he puts out on that pitch seems to get away with it. Like that penalty victory, I don't think it was deserved. I honestly thought we were going to lose, because I felt like Southampton deserved it more. But I'm happy we got through. That Saul Kovacic pivot doesn't work. Saul, someone I want to talk about here. Saul, honestly, I'll be happy to see the back of him. I think the physicality of the Premier League honestly, the players get past him way too easily. Like on the ball, you can see the quality, the Spanish quality is there. But off it, when he's defending the ball, players just get past him too easily, and it just opens up our defense. That pivot itself as well they don't really complement each other. So I'll be happy to see the back of him. I hope we don't sign him permanently. Yeah, he hasn't been a good signing. And just really quickly as well, like Kai Havertz, I want to talk about him. It's an uncomfortable conversation for a lot of Chelsea fans, because a lot of them obviously want to see him succeed, myself included. But I've kind of compared this to like a new relationship with like a good-looking girl. Yeah, you meet her, it's going great. You get to know her a bit better. It's not really you. That's for me with Kai Havertz. Like, he looks really great, looks great on the ball, but I fail to see what he's great at. Number one. Number two, I feel like he's a bit lightweight, and there is no special quality of like. At the end of the day, he was bought for 75 million, right? 75 million. I expect you to be, one of the best youngsters in the league. And so far, it's been very inconsistent. And we all talk about our other forwards. We talk about Ziyech. We talk about, Werner, but myself included. But Kai gets away with it. And I don't like how the Chelsea fans give him a leeway. Like, he cost the most out of all of them. I expect more from him. Today he scored, yes. But the overall performance, it wasn't impressive for me.
Do you think that's to do with, do you think he gets a bit of leeway because of, his performances in the back end of last season were good? He obviously scores the goal in the Champions League final. Do you kind of feel like that's, I always remember a player in the Prem at Newcastle, Faustino Asprilla, and he scored a hat-trick for Newcastle, and I want to say it was against Barcelona. And then he didn't score very often after that for a long time. And I remember listening to like a Newcastle fan talk on TV, and they were asking, he was moaning about how nobody's questioning Faustino Asprilla, and he says, and he just come out of a line that I thought about. He went, he's been living off that hat trick for far too long. Yeah. And I think sometimes players can, and that's the first time I ever heard someone say that. I was a kid when I heard someone, and I was like, yeah, it's true. Sometimes players can live off of a moment or a purple 100%. Patch of form.
Listen, Terry, at the end of the day, Ziyech himself, he got us through Atletico Madrid with that goal. Like, don't forget that, like in the Stamford Bridge, and it was a big moment. And that is a moment he could have lived off for a while. But clearly with Chelsea fans, he hasn't. Like, even I'm not impressed by Ziyech. Like, I just want to see more from Havertz. I know Chelsea fans will probably get rattled by this, but we can't keep giving players leeway just because, they look nice on the ball. Like, I have to see, I want to, listen, you've touched on this yourself. It's all well and good to look good on the ball. It's all well and good to have a good touch, but I want to see production. I want to see numbers. And at the end of the day, people are saying he's not a striker. Well, I've seen him play on the right side for Tuchel. I've seen him play as a number 10 for Lampard. I understand there's many excuses. He had the illness. But now it's time. Now it's time to perform consistently. Like how long can we give him leeway for? I'm not sure. I'm not very impressed.
Mate, I would say this to you. My view would be this. I wouldn't even worry about what other Chelsea fans say to a degree. And I know you're not the kind of person that sits there worrying about that. Roman Abramovich and Chelsea Football Club won't allow a player. You've got to think that's 12 appearances so far this season.
Yeah.
At 13 including tonight. And that's 3 goals and 1 assist. At the cost that he came. Now, look, he's 22, right? He turns 23 this year, so he's going towards his mid-20s. He's maybe got 1 more year after this to start delivering a proper return on a regular basis on that money. Otherwise, we know what your owner will do. Your owner will just ship him out.
Yeah.
Your owner will just move him on. And that's what he does. You could actually, this is how ruthless Roman and your club are. He could actually score 30 and assist 30, 40 goals this season and next year. If he then has a bad 18 months, you'll buy someone to replace him and move him on. Like, that's how Chelsea operates. So I would look at it and go, I don't really care that fans aren't having a pop at him. The club are going to look at it and say this. Like last year, 45 games, he got 18 goal contributions, which is pretty good. He's not tracking towards that again this year. And Chelsea is a club that's always about progression. It's always about moving forward. You look at Mason Mount, invariably, he's got better every season that he's played as an example. I look at it this way. Werner's got the rest of this season to turn it around, start scoring goals or being more impactful in games. Otherwise, he's gone for me in the summer, as long as you can find a buyer. Kai Havertz, he's probably got this season and next to start delivering on a regular basis. Otherwise, your club, that's why I'm jealous of your football club. You would never do what Man United have done with the people like Phil Jones, where they're still sitting here not good enough for the football club. Even with Victor Moses, you loaned him out every year and got paid £4, £5, £6 million in loan fees. So I do hear you. I think Kai Havertz is a great talent. I do. But I do get where you're coming from. There's this element of, okay, at 70-odd million pounds, the same as I'm going to expect from Sancho, the same as Liverpool fans expect from their big money signings. You expect them, they have to be required.
You know what,
deliver.
Terry? Just really quickly as well. Like a lot of rival fans themselves, the beginning of the year, they said that he's going to be like one of the most impressive players. He might even win Young Player of the Year. I know he can't. I realize that he can't because he's 22. But I heard a lot of that talk from rival fans. And you know what? Like, we thought he would build from the end of last season. And I'm not counting him out completely. I know the comments are going crazy, but I'm not counting him out completely. I just want to see more of him. Because listen, in terms of Werner, Ziyech, Mount, we've all said enough about them. We all know this. But with Havertz, like it for me, there's a lot. There's the most pressure is on him. He's a record signing. And today he got the goal, but the performance. It's just, I want to see more performances. I want to see more numbers.
Bro, I don't think it's wrong to question and challenge your club record signing to go and do that. I did want to ask you a question before you go as well.
Go ahead.
Antonio Conte to Man United, will it be a success if it happens?
Okay, here's what I'll say. I think in terms of this season, because of his European record, I do not see him winning a major trophy this year. But if he's there for 2 or 3 years, I can guarantee you win 1 major trophy at least. But the way it will end, it will probably end in tears. I remember you saying this to Spurs fans, actually, with Jose. It will end in tears. And I'm telling you, I think Conte, he's just a mercenary. And if you don't, listen, you know your ownership, the problems that are there, and Conte will not withstand that. He will not accept it. So it will end in tears. But you'll get some success before it. So it's just a vicious cycle with Conte.
It's going to end in tears, whoever Man United bring in this manager. So I'm completely at peace with that. Slens, great conversation, mate. Nice to hear from you again, mate. Speak to you again soon. Top man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Man like Slens. Conte in says, are you going to respond to iTest call? I haven't seen iTest call me out. Like legit, my timeline's been a mess recently. A lot of responses. I haven't seen it. iTest knows where I am. I stream 2 or 3 times a day. He's can phone him whenever he wants. I'm not too sure what it is he's going to say. Probably, how come is your Ollie out now and you weren't before? I kind of know what he's already going to say, but he's going to miss all the other things I've said at the same time. That's kind of it. But yeah, he's free to call in whenever he wants to have his say. Always up for it. Next on the show, who am I going to go to? Terry's got beef. I've got proper beef right now on socials. Man United fans are angry with me because I've ranted. Saying Ollie's allowed to stay is a disgrace is currently illegal. I've had death threats. I've actually people say, "Oh, do you fancy coming to chat to us in Manchester? We want to meet you for a drink." And I'm like, "What? Like you're not going to jump me?" Like, what do you want to meet me for a drink for? Oh, just to have a chat. What for? Oh, just a few old heads want to have a chat with you. Oh, you mean some of the old hooligans want to hit me because I've said that they shouldn't put money in the club. This one guy here called Essex Red United says, "Sorry, who is this nobody? Who is this guy? Man United fan, Essex based. Not here to moan. Oh, look at there you go, mate. Yeah, there is. Yeah, I'm just Terry Flewers, bruv. I'm just Terry Flewers, YouTuber, giving fans a voice. It's all good. They don't like it. But honestly, I've never had a reaction like this. All I'm doing is slagging off the Glazers. But there we go. It's clearly it's wrong to slag the Glazers off. But this is what I said before. Especially some of the match-going fans, they would say they love the club and they're hurting. I get it. But if you really love the club, stop putting your money into it. Stop feeding the Glazers habit. And I'll say it there. If your response to that is you wanting to hit me, that's your problem, bro. Or madam, whichever gender, or or they, whichever gender you put yourself in, because you want to hit me for saying the Glazers are bad. Think about that. Think about it. Like, it is what it is. Like, do you know what I mean? And if he's like, who's this nobody? I'm no one. I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan that helps give people a chance to speak. It is what it is. I only had over 50 million views on YouTube, but no one listens to me. No one. 214,000 subscribers. It's not the biggest. I'm not the smallest. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Not the biggest, but not the smallest. I'm all right. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, peeps. It's all good. But there we go. Right. Who's next on the show? So many people to pick from. David's here with me now. I'm going to go to Brandon afterwards, but David's here with me right now. What are you saying, Dave?
I'm good. Just, I got in a bit late, so I didn't watch the first half because I had training. But, it was an all right performance. We win on penalties again. It's just what I think we've got to start talking about Kepa as just a really good penalty goalkeeper. I think he might just be one of those goalkeepers who's just really good at pens.
Yeah, he is. He is very good at penalties. He's very, very good at penalties. If he was as good at penalties, at normal shot stopping as he was penalties, Mendy wouldn't be in the team.
No, it wouldn't be. Like, honestly, every penalty shootout we now have, I'm like, I'm just gonna win. We are just gonna win. Like, especially when it gets late in the Champions League. When we actually have our penalty takers on, Jorginho, that's almost a guarantee. Mason Mount is normally a guarantee. However, he's missed his last two. In penalty shootouts. So, normally he's quite good. Rudiger's normally a good penalty taker. We just have Ben Chilwell's good penalty. Ice James is a quality penalty taker. We have good penalty takers. I just never feel like we're going to lose a penalty shootout right now. So, but again, that's too cool. Feel good factor. Everything's going well. So, yeah. Win.
Yeah, listen, 110%. I think it's not a great performance, but you win again, you move forward. When you're going into the latter rounds now, a few Arsenal fans have said they want to see more, maybe not as much rotation. That's what they've said on this show. Would you like to keep seeing the rotation? Is it really a tournament you're that eager to win? Is it a case of just keeping the sort of fringe players fit? Is that what you want to use it for? Or do you want to see a bit more seriousness thrown into the quarterfinals and hopefully the semis for you?
One, it depends who you draw. That's key, because if we draw Sunderland, then I'm expecting rotation, naturally. But I'm not too fast, if I'm being honest. It's one of them trophies where it's if you're in the final, you're like, cool, let's win. But if you get knocked out, you're not there we didn't win the Carabao Cup this year. It's really bad. What are we going to do? It's not a be-all and end-all. I think it is a good thing for our fringe players to get minutes, because you never know when you're going to need them. Saul hasn't played in a couple of games. It was good for him to get minutes under his belt after his horrible performance at the start of the season. Cho went back to wing back. Reece James got minutes at centre back. It's important that you get all these players these minutes in different positions so they can properly adjust the system and fully understand it. So that when they do go back into their positions, or someone gets injured who's key and they've got to fill in, they know exactly what they're doing. So I don't mind it at all. Trusting Tuchel. So,
I hear you on that. Listen, David, top man. Thanks for calling in, bro. Speak to you soon. Thank you very much indeed. Viewers, we're nearly on that 500 like mark, 70 likes to go. Let's keep getting that done. Brandon's on next. Arsenal fan in the house. What you saying, mate?
Well, first of all, Terry, I believe 90% of the people that watch this channel and 90% of the Arsenal fan base think I'm a miserable fucker. So I'm going to continue that trend right now. But I'm not going to talk about Mikel Arteta. Nicolas Pepe. Pepe out. Seriously, this guy, he's so frustrating to watch. I'm fed up of seeing it now. You can tell this guy's got bags of ability, but you just don't see it often enough. You really don't. I mean, whether he plays on the left, the right, I mean, in the final third, he's decent. He's not too bad. He does get goals. He does get assists. But it's almost like everything around him has to be absolutely perfect to get the best out of Nicolas Pepe. And I don't see how we're going to get the best out of Nicolas Pepe. I don't know whether it's the position that he's playing that doesn't quite suit him. I personally think he needs to play as like a second striker because he's so one-dimensional, constantly cuts in on his left foot. I've never seen Nicolas Pepe try and go on the outside and take a player on, you know, and whip across him with his right foot. And it just becomes so easy for defenders to defend against. It's like you've got to mix your game up, and he doesn't do that. And for 72 million, mate, you know, if we're going to continue to see performances like that, regardless of how many goals and assists that he gets, it's not good enough. And, you know, you're better off selling him and investing in the squad elsewhere, in my opinion.
A lot of Arsenal fans think that, and I do understand where you're coming from. Like anything, and this is for every club, whenever you spend that amount of money on a football player, the expectation, I know that people say it isn't their fault how much they cost, but the expectations are always going to be higher. They're always going to be higher than that of a player that came in at 20 odd million pounds, because that's your club's money invested into an individual. He also coming on fairly big wages as well. The expectations have to be there. And when you think of the level of performance that you see from Smith Rowe and Saka in comparison to him, I look at it and think, honestly, there must be another academy player that could come in and deliver to the same degree who's going to cost you a fraction of that money per week.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Aside from that, I don't know if you saw my tweet earlier, continuing being the miserable fucker. I wasn't best pleased with the amount of changes that we made. You know, I kind of thought that with us only playing one game a week, did we need to make that many changes? It's an opportunity to win a domestic trophy. We haven't really got anything else to play for, you know. I mean, like, yeah, there's arguments about possibly top 6, maybe even top 4, depending on whether we can continue this run or not. I don't believe so anyway. So why not try and win a domestic trophy? But you got to sort of sit there and say, okay, Mikel Arteta got it right tonight. But at the same time, it's a Leeds side that are in the bottom 4 of the Premier League. Then low on confidence. We beat them every single time that we either play them in the FA Cup or the League Cup anyway. So it's like, well, I wouldn't like him to continue making the changes as we progress through this competition. I'd like to see a stronger team next time, but he got away with it today. I thought it was a decent performance. I thought Ainsley Maitland-Niles really stood out. I think he played really well in the midfield. Eddie Nketiah worked really hard. I mean, I don't know about that goal though. You know, he's not not the greatest finisher in the world, is he? Let's be honest. But it's a win. A win's a win. 8 wins in a row. Not 8 wins in a row. 8 games unbeaten. Let's hope we can continue this run. That's all I'm going to say.
Hear you on that, mate. Top man. Thank you very much, Brandon. All the best, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Just funny as well. I've just been reading some of the people have been sending me through some of the quote tweets from my Glazer rant earlier. And the amount of people that are like, I can't, but why is this guy saying this? Nothing he says makes sense. This is what I told you about certain match-going fans. They would rather protect the Glazers than speak about the real problems at the club. Very strange bunch. Very strange bunch indeed. Joshua here says, I feel like football fans give players like Pepe a pass because he's a so-called baller. Even with the talent, he doesn't produce anything for the team. I hear you on that. Next on the show, Zion is here with us. Long time no speak. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, you're right, Terry.
Yeah, I'm very well. What do you want to say, my guy?
Just a quick thing. You got an opinion, Terry, regarding the Glazers and United. Let's be real. So all I'm going to say is that everyone has an opinion, against with their football club. So threats, all this kind of stuff is it's just so lame, in my opinion. So in my opinion, whatever you've said is true and fair, in my opinion, because I was watching that video and I agree with everything, because it's not only the fans who go to the games, they're giving the Glazers money. So they're basically taking out their wallet and giving them money because they're buying the shirts, they're buying the tickets to watch the game. So it's shocking, but I agree with every point you made, on that video. And, fair enough, because if that was my club doing that, I'd be doing the same thing as well, because that's just shocking.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that, mate. I really, really do. Like, it doesn't really bother me. It's like it's one of them things where I just think, go for it. It's not going to impact me. It's just funny to see that, again, that's where people's anger is toward people that are talking about it and giving again, it's a clip taken out of context of the whole show. We're giving fans a voice to speak, and that makes it's almost like we see it with other certain fan bases, and everybody kind of toes the party line. It's almost like they want to keep club business in house, and it's like, well, no, because then the Glazers will behave even worse, in my opinion. But I mean, it is what it is. In terms of your boys, Chelsea tonight, give me your thoughts, mate.
The performance wasn't great. Let's be real. I just don't think it was up to date. But I think we had a lot of rotation. So the back three. And Kepa obviously in goal, so obviously big hero Kepa in the penalty shootout again. But yeah, I mean, even like I think Slens was saying about Saul, I'm so glad it's just a loan deal and we don't have to buy him, in the summer, because he looks like he's well out of this, because I think the Premier League shocked him. I mean, most players come from abroad and like they get shell shocked of how physical this league is and how brutal it is, and there's quality in Saul. I think he's a baller. Let's get real. I mean, I think, in my opinion, he's got a great left foot, he's got great control, but he just needs a bit of time on the ball, which I don't think he's going to get in the Premier League. But otherwise, I think it wasn't a great performance. But at the end of the day, we got over the line, onto the quarterfinals, and yeah, we move on.
Yeah, I think that's very, very important indeed, mate. It really, really is. And I'm actually quite looking forward to the latter stage of this if all the big teams go through. I just want somebody to knock out City. I can't be seeing them win it 5 times on the bounce. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Listen, top man Zion, thank you very much indeed, my guy. Thank you. Next on the show, Latimus is here with me. What are you saying, laddie?
Hi. Yeah, wasn't the best of performances, but all that matters really is that we go through, especially with the rotation. Kepa, again, like when he was going through the bad period, like 2 seasons ago now, and I was saying that there are some good points to him, especially him with penalties, and people kept putting them down. Again, he saves us in a penalty shootout. And I when it went to penalties, I thought the law of averages, because he saved us so many times in shootouts, that we're probably going to get knocked out again. Again, he comes up clutch when we needed him. That's, brilliant from him. Havertz, not the best of performances, but he gets the goal. Saul, I don't think, again, he was that bad. I thought he had a decent game, like particularly in the first half anyway. This Cho playing at wing back, like Chelsea fans complain because they want him to play left wing and everything. That's all well and good and fine. But if you're getting in the team in certain positions, it may not be your favorite one, but you just have to go and take your chance when you get it. Like other players have broken into their team playing out of position, and they haven't complained. Greenwood is playing right wing at United. He's not complaining. Rashford broke through playing as a striker, and he didn't complain. Other players I could mention, like Saka, having to play left back and stuff, or left wing back, like they're not complaining. Sometimes you just have to take your chance, because if you want to say play in your favorite position, and all these players are ahead of you, then you're just not going to get that consistent game time. So just perform, because you have amazing talent apparently. So you just kind of have to show that. And also today, even though it was down as right wing back, we were pushing up so much. He was pushing up so much. He was basically a right winger anyway. So like, I don't I personally don't want to hear that excuse. But I like him though. That's the thing. So
yeah, no, I mate, listen, I completely get where you're coming from, mate. And I think from my point of view, Chelsea have just got this great habit of winning football matches that I don't think is going anywhere whatsoever. Listen, bro, really appreciate you coming on, having your say. Top man. Thank you very much indeed. I'm sorry to everyone else that's waiting backstage. We've come to the end of the show this evening. Like, share, subscribe if you like this evening. Make sure you share the stream if you loved it. But until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very